Everybody just keep calm. Just keep calm and breathe. Oh my God, it's happening, isn't it, Yem? How are you, my brother?
Mate, I am very relaxed. What a fine weekend. Everyone else loses. We just keep winning. Beautiful watching today. Do you know what? From the very get-go, I obviously this weekend is obviously a bit of a weird fixture set, especially Sunday. But 12:30, Man United leads, fine viewing. Then you get to your 3 o'clocks. You had a choice. Which ones do I choose? Where's the hate? And then obviously you get to your 5:30. And obviously, I tweeted it out earlier. It is always better when you've won, because then you just sit back. Sit back.
I don't know what's up with your audio, but you sound very muffled. But I can sense
You
the
hear me?
happiness. I can hear you now. I can sense the happiness, mate. What a day! I mean, honestly, as Paul has just said, as Latif has said, you start off, you do the business on Saturday, as we said in the match reaction video last night. Feet up for a glorious Super Sunday. We were all expecting City to wipe the floor with Chelsea, but Enzo Maresca, you little dancer, hey, in the last
Well, no,
minute,
isn't it?
94th minute.
Kieran McFarlane, isn't it? It's Kieran McFarlane, isn't it, for this
Tell you
one?
what, that nerd has absolutely managed a great result. And he scored a screamer at the death at the cottage as well. I couldn't believe it was two places at once. What a glorious Sunday. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Daily Grind here on Latte FM, everybody. It is Sunday, the 4th of Jan, 10 p.m., just gone 10 p.m. in the UK. What a glorious hate watch weekend it has been. And Arsenal are now 6 points clear at the summit of the Premier League. What a great feeling. Let's go to the chat. Latif was first saying, I'm starting to believe FK. Yes, we can. Paul's here saying good evening. It really is a good evening without us playing. Brilliant hate watch Sunday. V Vlad, good evening, FK and chat. The stars are aligning. We just need to keep doing our job. Come on, you gunners. We're going to talk about what we need to do one game at a time. We've got January. The January transfer window is also open. Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that as well. Jonathan says, this hate watches are making me fat. I'm too full. What a weekend again. Second game week in a row. We win. All other big six teams don't win. May need to start watching Villa too. Come on, you Gunners. Jeffrey, welcome to the show. Good evening to Arsenal supporters. There are such good vibes amongst the Arsenal fan base tonight, Yem. It is such a great feeling knowing that we are at the top and our rivals are falling. And listen, the season is long. We are just in January. There are lots of highs and lows around the corner, but you've got to enjoy it after every milestone, right?
Oh, absolutely. Look, if you can't enjoy a weekend like this, then why do you watch football? Because it's, like I said, it's the perfect weekend, isn't it? You win. Admittedly, it wasn't amazing. We had to work for it. But then your rivals, and obviously Villa are in the race at the moment, but we beat them last weekend, so I'm not really bothered by them. But Man United, you always enjoy watching Man United just do what Man United do recently, and then Amorim having an absolute meltdown in the post match. It's very Maresca-esque. I think the writing's on the wall for Amorim. Then Liverpool, because they thought they'd won it in the last minute, and then honestly, Harrison Reed, what a time to get a goal, and then City. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was. If you can't enjoy this kind of weekend, give up, and don't watch football anymore, because this was the weekend. This is perfect, my friend.
It was perfect. And there are so many things to dissect. Like you said, the results that have happened today, don't really care about United too much. Don't really care about Liverpool either, although they are up next at the Emirates, and there is some unfinished business there for Arsenal after that defeat that we had at Anfield earlier this season. But listen, we are going strong. We're motoring week after week. And what's really interesting, Yem, this week, we went first twice. The week before, City went first twice, and we had to respond, and we did, away at Everton, and then, of course, the last gasp goal against Wolves, thanks to Mosquera. And then this week, we've gone first, Villa. City go and crumble at the Stadium of Light. We again went first last night, winning from going behind on the South Coast, the late Saturday night kickoff, and then City again crumbling under the pressure, conceding at the very death. Pep aghast at the end, head in his hands. It's a beautiful sight, beautiful sight. Umair says, hello, FK in chat. We rise. The rest of the big six fall. Let's bring it home. Very early days, of course, but I do understand the joy. Dave, welcome. A warm welcome to our channel members and our Patreon members. Thank you so much for your generous support of the channel. It is gratefully received, and it goes a very long way, as I refuse to work with betting companies. And it's good to have you on board. Dave says, evening, Gooners. What a weekend. And is it wrong that I want to kiss the thumbnail back? Everyone's been talking about, like, keep calm, chill, relax. And there's Latte Firm with Declan Rice kissing the screen and Maresca going wild. I love it. Last minute goals hit differently. They do indeed. Josh, evening FK, watching with Mrs. Josh after a great weekend at Barclays, getting married in April. Happy New Year, Josh and Mrs. Josh. Many congratulations from the firm. All our very best for your wedding in April. What a lovely time of year as well. Don't go booking any honeymoons in May. Yembella and I were just talking about family holidays in May. I feel it's going to be a very special May, Josh. Learn from my experience. Believe me, you want to be booking that honeymoon in the summer pre-season. DJ D10 evening, FK and Gooners, Arsenal won, City drew, Chelsea drew, Liverpool drew, Tottenham drew, United drew. We're the only team that still knows how to win. Let that continue, my friend. Excuse me, boss. I love it. Everyone's in such a good mood. Happy Sunday. Love it. Mike says, hi, everyone. Another elite day of hate watch. City crumbles under the pressure against Chelsea with no manager and Liverpool on the receiving end of a miracle shot into that top corner at the end. Love it. I am late. What would it be, Latte Phone, without me being late? Come on, guys. Come on. FK, I know. What does FK stand for? Faisal Khan. There you go. There's my name. Finally able to catch a live stream. 6 points clear. Chris McCartney, welcome to the show. I can't keep up with the chat. You guys are miles ahead. I'm just catching up. This is our season, says she on side. Lewis says, what a day. Honestly, and some bonus Yembele content. Indeed, Yembele decided to join me, of course, surprised me with the boys, James, Wally and Wayne on Friday night, which is the reason we couldn't do the late night lounge. They took me as a surprise for my birthday to a recording studio. That recording, a special edition of Latte Film, will be out in the week. And look who's decided to show up. It's Wayne Belle. He's watching. Here, there he is. Wayne,
Hello,
hope you've had a glorious weekend. Thank you again for the treat on Friday night, but I hope you've had a lovely day. We've all had such a lovely day. Look at this. By the way, I've heard rumors that might be fucking massive, says RRM1903. Let us know what the rumors are. Come on, share, pray tell us, share with us. We're all friends and family here. Thank you, Sideshow, for your generous donation to the channel. Really appreciate it. A small token of charity after a shaggable game week up the Arsenal. You know what? You're a wordsmith, my friend. You took the words straight out of my mouth. Go on, yeah.
I've never heard shaggable used in that kind of way.
I mean, why not? It's the first time. Mikey says it's the full moon. It never lets you down, FK. Oh, wow. What a glorious day. Dan, evening all that felt weird. Celebrating a Chelsea goal. Celebrate it, my friend. Celebrate it late into the night. It's going to be a very long season. Yeah, mate. I enjoyed the hate watch. Would have worked.
Wade. It would have been me if exactly. Come on, Wade.
Over to Welbs. Brighton, of course, play Manchester City during the week. That's been an interesting game. Dan says, this is such an awesome, thoughtful present. Nice one, gents. Yeah, that's right. For the Friday night, that was absolutely wonderful. Right. Let's talk about what we've seen today in Mbele, because the rival clubs, as you can now, hopefully. No? Can you guys see that on screen?
No. There we go.
I've gone early. I've spoiled it for you. There's the league table. So as you see, Arsenal won at Bournemouth, Manchester City drawing at home, United drawing as well at Leeds, Spurs are drawing to Granit Xhaka's Sunderland. What a player he is. Liverpool fumbling the bag late at the death at the Cottage, and Chelsea, of course, super Chelsea, the Chelsea, doing it for London, doing it for Arsenal, grabbing a point at the Etihad. I mean, we've already talked about the hate watch, I guess, but look at that league table, Yembele, courtesy of PremierLeague.com. Played 20, 26 goal difference, 48 points on the board. Manchester City played 20, also the same goal difference, 42. They are 6 points behind. Did you ever imagine that we'd be 6 points clear going into the second week of January at the start of the season?
No, not at the start of this period, because obviously it was a 2 point, it was a 2 point gap. Now we've had a 4 point swing effectively towards us, which is amazing. No, because obviously if you look at City in the current form, they were opening teams up, they were scoring goals. They weren't defensively solid, but they were getting goals. And you thought, look, this is not going to go well. Obviously Sunderland, though, are a very good team, and at the Stadium of Light, they've proven it against us. So I was hopeful, and actually as the game developed more, I don't know if you had the same feeling, but I just thought, look, they look really solid and they can get something. They look like the better team actually overall. Today was a little different. I thought in the first half, City were absolutely carving Chelsea open at will, and obviously got the goal through to Johnny Reinders. Then I thought, yeah, they're going to go on and absolutely smash them. But second half, I have
to come in on that, yeah, because I agree with you. I thought Chelsea's heads had gone. I thought, get into half time and just see it out. And maybe we hope for something in the second half. But Haaland hitting the post, Foden going close a couple of times, Tijani Reinders going close before he scored. I thought it was going to, once they got one, I was nervous about it sort of being, the floodgates opening. And, little story, you know this obviously. 80 minutes on the clock. I've taken the family out for dinner. We've gone up to Storia in Woodford. By the way, Storia, shout out anybody living in the East Ends, go to Storia, fabulous Italian place. Their harissa chicken pasta is absolutely just insane. Anyway, we've gone there at 81 minutes. It was 1-0. Thought, yeah, nothing's going to happen. No signal in the restaurant. Right, and I'm having my dinner, chatting my chat, enjoying everyone's company. I've come out. My daughter wasn't feeling too good. I think she'd inhaled the hot chocolate very, very quickly after her main. So we were sort of walking home, and then the phone just starts pinging. And then I've checked out the BBC, and Chelsea got the last gasp equaliser. Get in, you beauty. Sorry, Em, you were telling us the second half.
No. Chelsea were fully deserved of the second half result. To get the goal, I thought they performed brilliantly, actually. And then obviously when they brought on Liam Delap, they looked even more dangerous. I thought City actually withered quite a bit, considering the talent that they had. Because, yeah, Pep's been, and I don't know if you saw the post-match, but he was absolutely going nuts about, there's injuries, etc. Get over it. We've all had injuries. Look at Arsenal. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But the goal was well deserved. It was so annoying. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Donnarumma got a hand on the first shot. Fernandes got off, and I was like, no way, because obviously Donnarumma's a bit of a cheat code. But then obviously he managed to get a toe on it and poke it in. Honestly, at that moment, I was like, my God, is it going to save it? But yeah, great watch. Considering Chelsea's predicament as well, no Caicedo, half of the defence out. It's an amazing result for Kieran McFarlane. Great result for us, obviously. But you do have to ask questions. Everyone's been bigging up Man City. Obviously, who was it? Some media pundit was saying, I think it was Owen Hargreaves or someone like that was saying that Man City is now the favourites still for the title. And I was like, you what? Nothing's certain. And that's the thing, that look at what's happened here. It's great that we're 6 points ahead, but nothing is absolutely certain. It's only January, so long way to go.
There is. Can you just adjust your camera so we can see more of your face and your mic, because you're sort of sinking down below when the chat comes on? What I would say, I completely understand why some of the media, some of the sort of former pros and pundits will be backing City, because they all play on that same sort of, City have got the experience, and they've got Guardiola, and they've got the stockpiled talent, and they've got such a great squad, and they've got Haaland up front. And of course, unfortunately, Arsenal have shown over the last 3 years that, as this is the image, we finished second on the bounce 3 times for a variety of reasons. We know that Liverpool walked the league last year because we had so many injuries. I mean, we lost all 3 of our forwards by the end of Jan, and we just couldn't, muster up a challenge. The year before, taking it to, I think, was it the final weekend the year before? And the year before that, we were 5 points off. So we know the trajectory we're on, and we know what we're capable of, but nobody else does. And that's why I kind of understand it. But I think now, and I don't want to say, we're favourites and we're definitely going to do it, but people are taking note. People are looking at this Arsenal team and thinking, Rohan, our good friend, Rohan Jivan, who is part of the Cannon podcast, brilliant guy. I'm sure you guys all know him as I just dig up my phone. I want to read out a tweet that he basically put together just a short while ago. And it was basically along the lines of, Arsenal played 31 games this season in all competitions, Jem. How many of those do you think we've won?
26, I think.
26 wins out of 31. We've drawn 3 and lost just 2. That is 26 wins out of 31 games. Just think about that, ladies and gents, boys and girls, for a moment, because when you reflect on all the injuries that we've had and the number of new signings that we've had to embed into the system and into the team, and all the hard away games that everyone sort of picked out in the first half of the season, that is remarkable. It is sensational stuff. Any sort of profound criticism of Mikel Arteta that comes from people who think they're smart, or from even some of the Arsenal fans, sad to say it, it's just give it a rest. We're doing something special. And talking of special, we've got previous here, Arsene Wenger, the last time there was that sort of three-peat of second place positions. We did go on to win the Premier League title. Hopefully that is a good omen for this season. Let's talk about some chat. Clark 31 says Rohan the GOAT. He is. It's about time Rohan came back on Latte firm. We were going to talk about that. Wayne says more points than the Invincibles at this stage of the season is an absolutely mental stat. I'll tell you what's more mental, Wayne, the fact that you want Arteta out. Can you believe it, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Get over to Twitter and just, throw pelters at him for that bloody underscore at the end of his handle, and also for wanting Arteta out at a time like this. Amber, I think Gvardiol might be out for a while. That did not look good. Don't want to wish injuries on players. That's all I'm going to say. She on side says it's 24 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses. So actually 26 wins, which is pretty impressive. That is exactly what has been said there. Paul Merson, Martin Keown, Lee Dixon, Alan Smith are all pundits. I know, Michael. That is what is happening. And some people are still up there out. I know. Wayne, that's you. Check it, yo. Let's move away from the league table because it is looking good. And hopefully this omen's going to be a good one for us. Let's just have a quick reflection on yesterday, Yem. What did you make of the day? It was a lovely day out at the seaside for Arsenal. 3-2 win. It didn't start very well. Gabriel, of course, gifting a goal to Evan Nilsson, who hadn't scored in the Premier League this season up until that moment. Bournemouth hadn't won in their previous 10 Premier League games. The writing was beginning to be put on the wall, and then Big Gabby redeemed himself. And then, of course, the double delight from Declan Rice, who we'll talk about next. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, that first half was not ideal because obviously conceding first, and it was a very uncharacteristic mistake from Gabriel, and obviously he managed to save himself by scoring the goal. I think it was a good away performance considering that Bournemouth is still a very, very good side. They've got a lot of talent. They've got really good players. Semenyo was there, obviously. Whether Man City obviously instructed him to stay until the game, we will never know. But the key thing is getting the win. Away wins, we were talking about this on our group chat a while back, away wins in the Premier League, as been shown this weekend, are tough to get. You've got to get them. And however you do it, however scrappy it is, because obviously, there's been a lot of talk. Once Victor Gyökeres went off yesterday, we seemed to, we obviously conceded the goal and we started to falter a little bit. There's questions about, can we, make sure we see out a game? But the facts are the facts. We got through the game yesterday. We won away. And that's the only thing that matters. 3 points. It's all about collecting 3 points at the moment because look at the rivals, look at the injury situations, look at what's happening. That's all I care about right now. We're not at 100%. We already know that, but that's not a bad thing, actually. I think we're playing within second gear or second or third gear almost. And, players are coming back. We've started, the squad looks a bit more fuller. We need just a few more back, and then we're ready for the second half. The interesting thing is going to be this transfer window that's coming up. We already know that Man City are going to strengthen. I suspect they will strengthen even further now because of what Pep Guardiola said. And I assume they'll have a new sponsor by tomorrow for 100 million. But our rivals will strengthen because they're desperate to. You look at Liverpool, I assume they will as well. Do we need to? I think for the first time we're in a position where we can say, unless something amazing comes up, I don't think we will. But we need our squad back. If we can keep the squad fit for the rest of the Premier League season, there is no excuses because that's the only thing that's been causing us. Let me ask you this, Faisal. If we had had the full squad and we hadn't been decimated by the injuries, how many points do you think we'd be ahead? Because I think we would have been even further ahead at this point.
I mean, we've not dropped too many points, so it's not as if Anfield away was our defeat and we've dropped the points, sort of here and there. Maybe 1 or 2 more, but I think what Arteta has done with whoever he's had available is frankly phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, that we've had a phenomenal run this season. We've done really well. Away games, we seem to be grinding out results, which is the key thing here because, again, as I said, it's tough. Doesn't matter how you get it. Get the 3 points. Bournemouth, close. It's a close stadium. That's all, and it's always going to be awkward. But now we've got that. Now we're on to one of the big games of the season and a revenge mission.
DJ D10 saying, just remember that Bournemouth had conceded only 6 goals at home up until yesterday, and we scored 3. And we scored 3, and this is the headline for me, that I think we scored 3 in a game that I don't think we played that well in. I thought it was quite sloppy and clumsy at times, a little bit disjointed, some unforced errors that we've not seen before. We did very well to kind of redeem ourselves and sort of, get back into the game very quickly. Gabriel Magalhaes making amends, of course. 1 or 2 bright sparks from the likes of Noni Madueke and Zubimendi having a really great game. My analysis of Zubimendi was that I thought he looked a bit tired, and then Opta has to go, and our partners Opta have to go and tweet this morning that more recoveries than any other player in like Premier League history or something ridiculous. But it was a good performance. And actually, when you can't play as well as we've seen us play in certain games, the Villa game was enthralling, wasn't it? That second half, when you can't quite do that, you're still able to pick up points and to score goals and to win games, I think is very, very important. Chrome saying away games have never been harder in the Premier League. Wayne is showing Joel some love after Joel showed Wayne some love. Says, I appreciate that. We're all Latte firm indeed. Hundreds of you watching live on YouTube right now. Please do drop a like on the channel, on the video. Sorry, I always get my line messed up. If you're enjoying the content and you're watching for the first time, please do, of course, subscribe, set your notifications on. You will not miss any of the content. And games are coming thick and fast, ladies and gents. There is going to be a lot of content to come over the next few days. BX Gunner says, this is a dogfight. We're kicking ass and we're taking names. Can't wait for Sunday. Liam Rossinia has been confirmed as the new Chelsea incoming manager, according to AFC Pulse 86. I cannot believe that. We'll talk more about that maybe at some point in the week, especially when McFarlane is, of course, the GOAT. We shouldn't have lost away at Villa. That was a very painful one. And Goongang says, Kai and Mosquera returning are going to be massive. Ricky Calafiori also set to be back in the next couple of weeks, which is going to be massive for us. Hand of Arsenal is in the house. Hand of Arsenal, stay tuned. I've got a slide with your logo on it. Didn't even have enough time to sort of ask you, but, bear it. Just wait for that. He did tweet. He texted me. So, yeah, as I was saying, I went out for are you all right? You got messages?
Yeah, I'm getting texts like every 2 minutes. And it's not because
who's messaging you? It's very rude to be on your phone when you're doing a live production. Come on, flight mode that crap. Right. Adam Arsenal said to me, so I'm just kidding. He said, I said to him, I'm going out for dinner. He was like, 88 minutes, you're not missing anything. And if you know, iconic it was. Yeah, the last couple of minutes. And then I sent him a very nice message. Rob says, as a new Latte Firm Patreon member, I want to recommend it. The group chat alone, amongst all the other benefits, is top. Join today. Was not asked to say this. I'm being Rob, that's so nice of you. Just a quick shout out to for Patreon. If you like ad-free content, and I'm fully aware that there are ads on YouTube and ads on the audio and Spotify and Apple and whatnot. If you want it ad-free and if you want to be part of a really nice growing community, good friendly chat all throughout the day, if you want access to match tickets and competitions and giveaways, that is the place to go. So tick along the bottom, patreon.com/Latte.
A special giveaway shortly.
There will be, well, we've had some very, very big giveaways over the last few months, but there will be a couple of special giveaways this week. That is for sure. So be part of that. And I'm very, very grateful for all of the love that we get through there. Like I said, I refuse to work with betting companies. So your donations to the channel go a very, very long way. Who is Hand of Arsenal, says Alex. Alex Bellotti. Where have you been? Where have you been? Come on. Let's move on from the Bournemouth game. Look, I think my closing headline is that it was just important to win, and it was important to win to put that little bit of pressure on City. They had to go and do the job, and of course, they succumbed to a last gasp equaliser today. Let's talk about double delight for Declan Rice. This was a slide that I used in the match reaction video, but it's so good I want to talk about it again. I don't even know what the question is, Jen, but what did you make of his performance yesterday? How high is his ceiling? Is he going to win the Ballon d'Or? Is he going to get his arms around the Premier League trophy in May?
He should have won the Puskas Award, but I don't know how he did not. Ridiculous. There was always, like going into the game even, there was questions about will he be available, and everyone was like a bit down. Obviously, he's had a swelling. Look at the performance he put in. He was the match winner. He was the driving engine. He's world class. I don't think he's even world class. I think he's moved into that elite kind of bracket. There's very few midfielders in the world that you can put in there with him. And I'm talking not even, I don't, Jude Bellingham may be bordering on it, but Declan Rice does recoveries, positions, gallops up the field, creates goals, scores free kicks, takes set pieces. His assist record is unbelievable this season. His goals record is improved. So if you look at your classification for a midfielder, goals, assists, tackles, covers the ground. I can't name another midfielder in the world who does the job that Declan Rice does in the overall sphere of a football game. Can you? I can't think of one. I can think of good midfielders, but nothing like him.
I think Rodri is obviously the standard, but I think Declan Rice, this is going to sound crazy. I almost don't want to say it. Rodri is an unbelievable footballer. He has this incredible aura about him where no one even wants to get close to him. He can pop the ball long, short, left, right, high, low, and he just gets City going. He just gets them ticking. He's a phenomenal footballer. What I'm about to say, though, I think Declan Rice can do more. Like, I don't see Rodri box to box. I don't see Rodri doing what Declan Rice does for Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, it sounds crazy because Rodri is unbelievable. But I think Rice is better. I think that's what I want to say.
No, but what Rodri has is the recognition in terms of, trophies, etc. He's done all of that. Rice needs that now because we know Rice is talented, but he needs the big trophies. I'm talking about the Premier League and the Champions League. Wayne, the Carabobbins is not a big trophy. Get over it, my friend. I know he's in the chat, so I had to do it. But he needs that recognition, doesn't he, to be recognised? Because unfortunately, we work in this era where if you don't have the trophy, you don't get into that best list, etc., etc. And Declan Rice deserves to be there because, as I said, if you look at the overall his contribution to a game, it's phenomenal. So his ceiling is I don't think he's reached his ceiling yet because I still think there's more to come from him. I think he can get more goals. I think he can get forward better. His passing is still to be worked on, but he showed yesterday why he is integral to our team. We look poorer without him. Any team would look poorer. England look really poor without him. So it's phenomenal. And, again, we have to keep him injury free. That's the big concern. Yes, we have midfielders who can cover, but can they offer what he offers? No.
Lots of talk about the camera kiss. Declan Rice obviously going close up, but I think Bruno Guimaraes tried doing that today. Wasn't quite the same impact. Joel asks, can Patreon sort out a visa? The UK government have declined my application. Joel, there are things that we can do, my friend, but that might just be beyond me. JCF says, hey, FK, sorry I'm late. I'm going to rewatch from the start, but come on, you Gunners. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, man. I know there's one thing, if I could do one thing better on this channel, there's lots of things I can do better on this channel, but if there was one thing that I could really do, it would be scheduling. I apologize profusely for that. It is just because of my sort of work life and kid life and dad life and all that sort of stuff, and sometimes results like this spring out of nowhere and you think, right, we got to go live. So my apologies, but I'm glad that you're watching on demand. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, please do of course leave us a kind review, and like I said, ad-free content via Patreon. Wayne says, not seen a midfielder like Rice since Steven Gerrard. I mean, we've talked about it on the Late Night Lounge before, where I think finally 20 years on we've replaced Patrick Vieira. That is the biggest compliment I can pay to Declan Rice. Would you agree?
Patrick Vieira was more of a 6. I think he was phenomenal as a 6 and an all-round,
Vieira was box-to-box, mate.
He was, but, in the truest sense, he played as the 6, whereas Declan Rice, the set pieces as well, his ball delivery is... we didn't even realise he had it in his locker, did we? The free kicks, the corners... again, Patrick Vieira was phenomenal, but he didn't even have the assist record that Declan Rice could eventually have. Think about the corners we can get this season. What he can do in his stat padding, if we call it that, is phenomenal, and that doesn't even count, the tackles, the recoveries. He played right back, and he still won the man of the match. That's how good he is.
Well, I think these comments are summarising it. Yeah, Rodri is an elite 6, but Declan is an elite all-rounder.
Exactly.
Vlad, Rodri's better on the ball, in my opinion, but Rice is more complete. That is basically what it is. I think Declan Rice is a better footballer. What a player! Joel says Rice has scored more. If Rice scored more goals, he would be in the Gerrard conversation. I don't even know if it's about goals. I think it's just about the influence on the game, his leadership.
He will score more goals. He will score more goals. He's scoring more this season, isn't he? He's scored
probably. Who knows? The beauty. Yeah, I don't know. The beauty of the pencil says Rice and the rest of the team will get all the recognition and acclaim they deserve. By the end of the season, the narrative will change as we lift both the Premier League and the Champions League trophies. Getting very, very excited, aren't you? The beauty of the pencil. Let's move away from big deckers and talk about a gargantuan. Well, you can't get enough of deckers. So the thumbnail, the prints. There we are. Dembele, top and handsomely top of the Premier League in every sense of the word. 6 points clear, and it's a massive January for us. Sorry for the eye test, but this is an image courtesy of Arsenal.com. January fixtures for Arsenal. So we've just won away at Bournemouth. That was a Saturday night kickoff yesterday. Liverpool come to the Emirates. We'll look forward to that towards the end of the show, just very briefly. So hold your thoughts on there. They come on Thursday, 8 p.m. kickoff. It's going to be a very, very cold one at the carpet. We then have Portsmouth away as our second of sort of 3 games in 3 different competitions. That fixture could be in doubt. Frozen pitch down at Portsmouth this weekend. That will be very, very interesting. And then, of course, we go away to Stamford Bridge to play Liam Rossinia's, it looks like, Chelsea in the first leg of the Carabao. Then the league returns, Nottingham Forest away, which is going to be tricky. They're not having the best of seasons, but they're quite unpredictable. Inter Milan away in the Champions League, where we're going ever so strong. Manchester United, an abysmal looking Manchester United team, come to the end. Surely United and Liverpool are finally going to get the hidings that they've so deserved for so many years. Kairat at home, which I think we will stat pad with a lot of rotation, and then Leeds United away to end January. I think this is I've said it on the slide, a gargantuan month for the Gunners. But my question to you, Yem, is the next 3 games, how does Mikel play it? What are you doing with the squad? Liverpool on Thursday, presumably full strength, Trossard, Saka straight back in, but expecting heavy rotation against Portsmouth and Chelsea?
Portsmouth, yes, but that depends, as you said, Faiz, on if the game goes ahead. If it doesn't, that causes a further problem down the line when the fixture is rearranged. And if it is, then that's going to cause a problem because our fixture is all, I think, until mid-February, isn't it? That we play every 3 days, so we're going to have to squeeze it in somewhere. Chelsea, I think he'll go strong because he's that close to a final that he will at least keep it, reasonably strong. I don't see him not doing that, but strong for us means, you've got a Madueke, you've got Eze, etc. That's still a very strong team. Possibly Jesus at full fitness, Kai Havertz even. Where does he figure into this? For those 3 games, it's going to be an interesting one because we still need to rotate. Liverpool, definitely, we will be at full strength because I think a revenge mission is on our mind given what happened at Anfield. We shouldn't have lost that game. We lost to a worldly free kick, but Liverpool are not in the greatest of form, and we need to, I think, stamp our authority on the league by showing what we can do against the current champions. Yeah, I just think there will be rotation. It all comes down to the Portsmouth game because if that's rearranged, then that's a problem for us, I think, given the tight schedule. But Chelsea, no, I don't expect too much rotation. I think it will be a strong team, and I think Chelsea will be strong as well. I think Rosinia will look at it as a mark to stamp his authority again to show that, I can handle the big boys.
Larry's in the house with his trademark. Yeah. What a day, Larry. Season-defining month, honestly, says V Vlad. If we end this with a +6 lead, surely it's ours. That's the next question that I wanted to ask you, Yem. 20 games now on the board. And you and I were around when obviously we won the last sort of Premier League title, sort of Arsenal's history. And we remember the sort of countdown and the excitement in the sort of home straight. And that particular season, the Invincibles was remarkable. No one was getting close to us. At what point, this is the question, do you start counting down? 20 games on the board, 18 games to play. At what point do you start doing the sort of mental maths, the arithmetic around, right, these are the number of games that we've got and these are the number of draws and wins that we can afford? Is this too early? Are you plotting that now?
It's way too early. As our good friend Waleed keeps saying, April is when you start looking at the stats and what can happen and what ifs, because there's such a big gap. Look at this month. Next month is not as easy either. There's so much football to play, so many connotations. Look what happened. Injuries. When we do you remember we were, 6 points ahead as well before. And then obviously it swung again to 2 points. Now it's back to 6. There are so many twists and turns to come around. But by April, if we are still in it and we're 6 points ahead, I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm just giving an example, then I'll be looking going, yeah, we need a win here, etc. Because the Champions League as well, we hopefully will be going deep. We hope to be going deep into the FA Cup as well. All of these will factor into how we do these things. But, this is too early. The main thing here at the moment is to keep collecting as many wins as possible, get through the FA Cup third round, get through the Champions League. We should be through already, but you've got 2 games. Inter Milan, I have a personal, I want to win that game because I thought last year we went with a with a reserve squad, and I still think we should have won. And I think this year we can do better and stamp our authority on one of the big guns. Kairat, you'd expect rotation. It's going to be about how we manage this squad. We've got the biggest squad and the best stacked squad we've had for years, but Mikel has to rotate it properly, because obviously, look at Ben White, look at Yuri and Timber. They've been run into the ground in the past. Both are back now. Rotate them correctly. Give minutes to those players who need it. The Ezes, the Havertzes, the Jesuses. Marino has demonstrated he's very good when he's called upon. So when we need to rotate well. And I think that's going to be the big key, because February's not any easier. March is not any easier. The Premier League is not easy. And then obviously you're starting to get into Champions League quarterfinal. Who are we going to get in the quarter, into the round of 16 quarterfinals? There's so many things, guys. Too early, way too early. If you're looking at it now, don't, because it's Wayne, obviously.
Wayne's too excitable. I think a lot of people have come back. Manny's saying, look, we start counting at 34 days. Chrome says, look, the last 10 games.
Yeah.
He thinks MMHCC 9907 rolls off the tongue. That does. I don't know why StreamYard does that with the handles. My apologies. Game week 30 is probably a good time to start. Trevor Bibbins saying last 10. D-Day Spring, welcome to the show. Says calculations start normally after match week 30. That is what's going to happen. Karen, welcome. So it doesn't hurt to have a spreadsheet. Yeah, we can do all sorts of sort of points modeling, but we shall wait and see. I think what I would like, Yem, is for us to go to the Etihad, which of course is in April, with ideally a sort of 6-point buffer. I think anything less than that, and you start getting a little bit sort of nervous, particularly if City manage to beat us at the Etihad. And if we come away with that with a draw or even a win, I think you're cooking, right? But I think if you go there, and let's say you get turned over, and it's all sort of, hypothetical, and let's say then it's just, they're either level on points or maybe we're a point ahead or whatever, then I think Arsenal start to look over their shoulders, and I think the experience and the recent memories of missing out maybe creep into your mind, and it depends on where we are in other competitions, like you say, and what the condition of the squad is. That's when I think the pedigree and the experience and the sort of Premier League sort of nous of winning those titles probably comes into play. And I think for now, January is huge. We're going strong in all 4 competitions. Arteta has to rotate the squad to his best ability. I loved that he played Noni Madueke yesterday. You guys know how much I adore Bukayo Saka, but I loved that he did it because Saka looked absolutely spent at full time against Aston Villa. I loved that he, gave Trossard the day off and let Martinelli play. Trossard will absolutely start on Thursday night, and rightly so. And Saka will be straight back into that team, and rightly so. But he's got to do that with the likes of Norgard, with the likes of Eze, with the likes of Jesus and Havertz. Victor Gyökeres, I know he's not scoring the goals. He's having a really positive impact on this team. We would not be top without him. He will need a breather because he's carried that load himself throughout the start of the season. So Mikel has to rotate the squad and really get the best out of the players that he's got waiting in the wings, and he's got some really good talent. So that is, I think, the litmus test for Mikel, and that's hopefully what's going to put us into good stead. I want to ask you,
sorry, one more small caveat, and we all know this: the January window is obviously open.
Hold fire, and that's where we're going, my friend. So January window. First up on the left-hand side, Mark Guehi. What?
No, it ain't happening.
I mean, come on. I don't even know who did this edit, but it was in the WhatsApp chat. It was unreal.
No.
I guess the question here is, and chat, let me know. In fact, chat, go to town now and let me know, who would you sign in January if you could sign one player or even one position? Where do you think we lack? What is it that you think we do? The reason why I've put Guehi, is obviously he is a good player, English player, Premier League proven, one of the, and I say this with the greatest respect, Bible brothers, which we seem to be sort of collating at the moment, knows so many of the boys at Arsenal inside out, seems like a very humble, hardworking boy, hasn't really kicked up a fuss or a stink after his move didn't go through in the summer. He's a good player and available, relatively inexpensive, would maybe get him on a free. I know City are probably going to be dusting off their sort of online banking codes because Guardiola has got his injury. Liverpool obviously still interested. Would you like to see Guehi move to Arsenal? I mean, if Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to be destined to play in midfield, maybe Nketiah and Calafiori become our left backs, and then all of a sudden you've got a left centre back slot right there, and succession planning for Gabriel potentially.
Any team would love Mark Guehi. He's a top class defender. Whether we can accommodate him in our squad, I don't think so, because he'll want to be first choice for the England for the for the World Cup. I think personally, Mark Gahey's destined for, if I put my money on it, it's either City or Real Madrid. Real Madrid is the big one because, again, they love a free transfer.
Do you think he's that good?
I think for Real Madrid he will be. I think for Real Madrid, I think they lack real defensive cover, and that's where they've struggled for the last couple of years. And David Alaba's leaving this season because obviously his injuries got better of him. They need a left centre back. He will be an absolutely class. I think he'll rise to the challenge if he goes to Real Madrid. I think Man City is obviously a viable option. Depends on the contract. I think the lure of Real Madrid is something big. Obviously, and he's got the mentality for it. I think it's just, it makes sense. He'll get big money, and he'd be a fool to go now because the money will all come to him in the summer. It just doesn't make sense to go through what he's done and not get the big payday effectively.
Yeah,
where do you see him going? Where do you see him going?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I would love it, Yem, to be another Arsene Wenger, Sol Campbell moment where the news is about City and the news is about Liverpool. The expectation is that he goes to Real Madrid or PSG or someone massive, and then if he, as Ambel said in the chat, can just hold off until the summer and he wants to leave on a free, I would love that signing. I mean, Gabriel Magalhaes is 28. Jakub Kiwior is having a fine season. I don't think we can call him back. So many people have been talking about that in the chat, but I think he moves. I think if Miles Lewis-Skelly does see that evolution into midfield, then all of a sudden you've got Nkapé as a left back, Calafiori as a left back, and you've only got Gabriel as a left-sided centre back. And I recognise so many people are saying, but Guehi's not going to come to be a sub, on the bench. Football has changed. If we want to go big and we're acting like a big boy club and you want to go strong in every competition, that the intensity and the ferocity and the demands of the Premier League are relentless. You are going to pick up injuries and suspensions along the route. And if Guehi comes in mid-20s and he's serious and he wants to prove himself at this level, Gabriel will hang up his boots at some point in the next sort of couple of years. Like, he's 28. He's got probably another 2-3 years at this sort of level, this peak. He can play. They can both have a role. Like, I don't see it as it has to be one or the other. Let's just stack the squad. This is what we've been craving for years, Yem. One drops out, another one comes in. Doesn't matter. The level, the quality does not drop. These are the standards.
But if you're being realistic, Real Madrid will offer him first team.
Realistically, he probably won't join. But I would love to see
even City. I think even City, he's gonna. I think will struggle to entice him because, again,
this is what I mean. Look, Nathan Ake, how many games has he played this year?
No, he doesn't want to be a second choice.
How many games has he played this year? Exactly. So, Kristanov's a £40 million defender. Gvardiol is a £100 million left back. Nathan Ake cost them 40 odd million quid. Like, why can't we have that level of depth? I don't know. I mean, people in the chat will tell me.
We already know why. And that is.
Yeah, I know. But let's wait and see. Now, the chap on the right hand side, Yembele, I will buy you dinner if you know this guy's name.
I just saw it from Hand of Arsenal. What is it? It's like Targaryen. It's like Targaryen.
You've lost your chance.
Take on something. I can't remember. Who? He's from Blackburn. He's from Blackburn, isn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, the kid gives that away, Yembele, for fuck's sake. Come on. No, his name is Igor Tijon from Blackburn Rovers. He is apparently, and I will quote from Hand of Arsenal, hence his logo on screen. It was a Hand of Arsenal bomber on social media just 3 hours ago. Arsenal are looking to sign the highly talented Igor Tijon from Blackburn Rovers. The Gunners made 2 bids last summer, with Arsenal seeing their second bid at around £2.2 million rejected. Arsenal are leading the race as of today to sign the highly rated striker who has been scouted for a long period of time. Igor is currently on a scholarship contract and is keen on moving on. Sources close to the player suggest that he has already politely declined multiple new contract offers, despite Blackburn Rovers' best attempts to keep hold of their prized star striker. Igor's representatives informed his parent club of the player's desire to seek a new challenge in a meeting as recent as 3 days ago. A fee close to £1 million is suggested as a suitable offer to sign the highly talented striker, and Arsenal are keen to add him to their youth ranks to compete with Andre Harriman Anus. There's my audition for Sky Sports News. Dharmesh Seth, if you're watching, brother, I'm coming for your job. But look, I mean, Arsenal are always doing things, always in the market, always doing great things. Obviously not a player for this season or for the squad this season. But I guess in closing for the January bit, before we sort of wrap up the show, if it's not to be Gahey, who would you like in Jan if that is to happen? Before you think about that, let me just take a couple of messages in the chat. Ram says a Wanyeri loan is likely to happen in January. Anajit says Buadi. Lots of talk about Buadi. Joel, this name has not been mentioned that often, but Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough, a young Declan Rice, he says. V Vlad says, ideally, I'd like another midfielder with legs. Won't happen, but that's okay. We just really need to keep this squad mostly fit. Manny coming back to us saying he's not going to Madrid. Mark Gahey, that is. No chance. But Adam says, Madrid with Trent, I can see it. I wonder. Another one for Hackney would be a good option, a replacement for Norgard. Yuppie says, interesting. I still want to know why Gahey didn't celebrate. I think it's because he was exhausted. Han of Arsenal says, but who said he wants first team football? I think class players back themselves. No, Madrid don't want him. There you go, Yembele. Han of Arsenal has dropped it, mate. Han of Arsenal is probably doing all the contract negotiations for us. One day we're going to find out that Han of Arsenal was actually Andrea Berta and that he tuned into Latte Firm every week. We're just going to have that realization moment. Jeremy Jacquet, top player, Jayville says, Han of Arsenal bomber. Wayne is getting carried away. Wayne had a comment earlier on. I can't remember what it was, but it was something. His head was on Mars. Something about winning the lot. I can't remember. A young Caicedo / Kante profile for January window would be ideal. Could you imagine? What else is there? Right, so go on. Answer me the question, Yembele. What do you think? What do you want in Jan?
We need a midfielder to replace Rice in his capacity, because I agree. That's the biggest problem that we've got in terms of if Rice goes down, we're struggling.
Not to replace Rice, but just as cover for Rice, yeah? Yeah.
Cover for Rice, but to provide another option, because obviously if Rice is injured or is faltering in the game, you don't want to lose that kind of profile effectively. Buadi would be the ideal, but Buadi's not going to move in January. That's the big problem is who's going to move in January for a reasonable fee. There are very few options again.
But when Arsenal knock, mate. By the way, can I just say this? Han of Arsenal Latte Firm exclusive. Blackburn Rovers confirmed talks are ongoing with Arsenal, but nothing is guaranteed as things stands. We are favourites. Look at this guy, just
delivering it, isn't he? He's just
hand delivering bombers live on Latte Firm. Sorry, man, go on.
No, but we defer for Hand of Arsenal. Obviously, we want these bombers, don't we? I would love another profile, but if we are looking at Buadi in the summer, then I don't think we're going to get anybody, to be honest, in this window. I think unless an opportunity presents itself, I just don't see anybody arriving. And for the first time in a number of years, I'm okay with that because, again, we're really stacked. You look at the quality, if we can get everyone fit, who's going to come in? It's just that Declan Rice position, but the person we want who is of an ideal profile is not available right now. And do you compromise that? Would you compromise buying a lesser player? Not saying lesser in terms of, but not the ideal profile, or do you wait till the summer? Because obviously we've got a decent squad at the moment, haven't we?
We do. I think if everyone can stay fit and Norgard has to be used more, I think we're hopefully okay. But sometimes, you pause to reflect. If we somehow, beat Portsmouth, beat Chelsea, progress in those cup competitions, get to the Carabao final, let's say we're still top 6 points, sort of clear, 7 points clear, whatever, by the end of the month, and there's an opportunity to just press the go button on someone 6 months maybe before we really want him in the summer, I think you do it. You just have to do it.
The other area as well, because I just thought about this, obviously, and it is someone who can play right centre back, because look, Mosquera, Saliba, ideally it would be fine, but it never is it?
Mosquera will be back in a couple of weeks. Ben White is back and on the bench. Shurian Timber has been phenomenal. I think we've got Declan Rice there as well. I think we'll be okay. Ruben Neves is a name that's been talked about quite a lot.
I like it. I like
a lone move midfielder, good ball player, Premier League proven. Weird that he went to, well, not weird because he went for the money, but he wants to come back.
You
saying Wharton. Sorry, go on.
You love Ruben Neves. I remember you used to rave about him for years.
I think he's a good player. I think he's got Manchester United written all over him, if I'm being honest. By the way, Wayne's comment, I said we win the league at the Etihad, or do you want to win it before the Etihad? His head's on Mars. Look at this boy.
I would love it.
Arteta out, but you want to win the league? Go on.
Could you imagine they have to give us a guard of honor? The angst that will be going through them as we walk past them. That would be lovely, but that won't happen. But because we don't do it that way,
Could you imagine another shout for Boadi? Carlos Baleba linked to Manchester United. I wonder.
100 million. No.
Adam says win it at the Etihad, and 100%. Yeah, I think I would rather. Yeah, I'd rather win it at the Etihad than have them give us the Guard of Honor. Guard of Honor means nothing, but to beat them in their own patch and to win the league there, and it's another stadium to add to. We won it at the Lane. We won it. We could just.
It doesn't work. We worked it at the. We won it at the Etihad.
It wouldn't rhyme. Yeah. We'd have to figure something out. 433 says just for the old PTSD, we need to be 16 clear. That doesn't sound bad. Right, yeah, let's the home straight onto the last slide of the show because I do want to catch match of the day tonight. That is the gap, 6 points clear, courtesy of Premier League. But we face this rather unusually shaped man's team. Arne Slot, Liverpool, of course, undone right at the death today at the Cottage by an absolute galazzo, top bins, postage stamp stuff. 2-2 after they thought that they'd won the game in the 94th minute through Cody Gakpo, who did a Richarlison by taking off the shirt and celebrating the win. And then he even got taken off as a substitute, which was brilliant. 2-2. Listen, they beat us at Anfield. It was a very, very open and fair game. They respected us. We respected them. But, it was like a heavyweight sort of boxing match, wasn't it? So you go, we go, you go, we go, but very sort of slow paced. They beat us, extraordinary free kick from Dominic Soboslai. Their season has fallen apart. They are miles behind us. Surely, they are in for a hiding on Thursday. It must be about revenge, or are you just keep professional, get the points, and forget about any other sort of story or narrative?
Personally, I would love revenge, but I think we have to be mindful and go 3 points. Just get the win and keep going. We all want to win against Liverpool. We want to beat them. But if we be realistic, Liverpool will still give us a game. They're still Liverpool. They've still got quality players. Although there are doubts about Ekatike, he had a hamstring injury. They say he's going to be fit, but even then he wouldn't be 100% with a hamstring injury. They've got quality players. You cannot underestimate them. What I'd like Arteta to do in this game is to yes, be respectful, but we play the strongest 11. Victor Gyökeres up front. Give them something to work on. Give Van Dijk and Konate a torrid time because that's that's where the failing is right now. Get our midfield purring, get Zubimendi and Rice moving against that midfield. Gravenberch is a good midfielder, but he's not at 6. McAllister looks a little weary. There's always threats from Wirtz, Gakpo, etc., etc. And so Boslai is obviously a fantastic player, but their right back as well is also an issue. I think Trossard could have a really good game. We were talking about this, you and me, the difference is, Trossard is a clever player. He doesn't need pace. He just needs his brain to beat the defender. So I'm looking forward to that. I just think the 3 points are the minimum. Just get that done. However it happens, headers, set pieces, they don't look great from set pieces. Just get all the set pieces we can and win it there. I really don't care. I just want 3 points because, again, we would love the hiding, but we have to be conscious of what we need to do. Man City will obviously start winning and get a run together. We just need to be as far away as possible if we can.
For me, I think performance in a game like this on Thursday is important. Bournemouth is the sort of game where if you play well, fantastic. If you don't play well, but you get the win, doesn't matter, just get the win. I think Thursday is symbolic of quite a few things. I think it is a chance for us to obviously seek revenge because we lost at Anfield and we got to set that right. It's a chance for us to make a big statement again after Manchester City crumbled under the pressure today, again for the second time in a week. They would have played Brighton by that point. We lay it down and we lay down the marker on this Liverpool team that took the trophy from us last year that we all thought we were going to win, but we couldn't do it because we were crippled with injuries and they've enjoyed that far too long. And I think we have to smell blood and go for the kill, Yem. I don't want it to be a 1-0 set piece. Obviously, I would take that as a win, but I want, if we score, I want us to fly out the blocks. I want us to pepper their goal with chances. I want us to do what Arsenal do. I want the stadium to be rocking. There's going to be a stadium display, a sort of card display for every fan. Red Action Gooners have already talked about it. Raimondo has already given us the plans. Get there early, sing till your lungs hurt, and start fast, score first. Once you're 1-0 up, 2-0 up, you got them on the ropes. Go for the kill, go for them again and again and again. And like, I want to see a nice 3-4, 5-0. Like,
we
mate,
always say that. No, we say that, but then it becomes this kind of. It's always cat and mouse in the big games, isn't it? Because
of course it is, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's about time that we walloped a Liverpool team. Like, we said it before the Villa game. I said it to you going into the stadium. Like, you know, one goal from 9 point whatever XG. At some point, we were going to batter someone. And Villa are a top team. Liverpool are a shambles. They deserve to be battered.
but they
I
do.
want Arsenal
But,
to lay it on them.
but every time we come to this, and the history has proven it, we never meet that expectation, if you call it that. You know, like when we talk about Man United, it never happens. So I definitely do want the same as you. I want to win this game, but I'm conscious that in the past it's never happened. So I just want to get the win, no injuries, get out, keep going, because the next game again, Portsmouth away, is going to be a tough one if it goes ahead. But then you've got, you know, big games coming. So, you know, if we can lay 3 or 4 on Liverpool, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. But the first point is just get those 3 points. Don't overplay the occasion. Don't get a red card or do something stupid, because we know how we get in these kind of games. You know, what happened at the Man City game? Gabriel got heated in the first few minutes and let Haaland through. Do not get heated. Keep it calm. Just get the win, and we'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be fine. We're too good at the moment not to be fine. You know, Liverpool had to play their full first team. We didn't need to. It's beautiful.
Well, let's wait and see. Rob says, I care about the 3 points. However, we get them on Thursday and nothing else. Sorry. And that's absolutely fine. Yuppie says, fuck Liverpool. That's exactly how I feel. And AFC 777, going to catch up on rewatch. Just wanted to say hi, and 6 points clear. 500 of you watching live right now. Just before you go, please do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you've enjoyed tonight's content. We have the Daily Grind shows. We have match reaction shows. We have late night lounges. Honestly, it's a pleasure to make content for you guys, and I really love it, especially on weekends like this, days like this. So there we have it. Arsenal have won on the South Coast to beat Bournemouth by 3-2 yesterday. A super, super Sunday for Arsenal fans today, as not only Manchester United and Liverpool drop points, but Manchester City too. 6 points is the gap, and on we go. Manchester City will play Brighton in the week, and the Arsenal play Liverpool. We'll be back in the week with a match preview show for the Liverpool game. Anybody wants to follow Yembele, he's available at Verge59, owner and host of the Red Lines and Half Spaces podcast. You doing a recording this week, Yem?
Going to try to, but work and family commitments are the big thing at the moment. You know, it's just hard to, but we'll try and get one out. I'll put a tweet out definitely if we do manage to get a recording.
Good. I hope you do. Wayne says, typical Yem, Portsmouth is going to be tough. They are fighting relegation in a lower league, Yembele.
I'm saying tough in terms of it is still tough. Why, Wayne, you and your carrot bombers mentality?
He does say he loves you. He does say he loves you. Thank you for all the kind words. Really, really appreciate it. Look after yourselves. It's very, very cold out there. And of course, first day back at work for most of the UK tomorrow. Enjoy being back at work. I got my first day out of the office, out of my system on Friday. So I'm going to be that annoying, energetic, these are the standards guys on Monday, bloke tomorrow. My team are going to hate me for it. Well, let's leave it there. Look after yourselves. On to Liverpool. Bye for now.